Hello friends, this week's ecstatic or mystical or shamanic lecture or discourse is on the use of ritual in shamanism, and most importantly, remember, we're looking for the depth of expression of shamanism, not the breadth of the expression of shamanism. So we really want to understand whether ritual was a key component of, let's say, the mature levels of shamanism. But as we could argue, or well, pretty much anybody could argue, that certainly ritual is a key component to the popular understanding of shamanism. And we could look at almost any tribal people and show that they have a lot of ritual behavior. And we could also look at religion, because remember, we're using religion and mystics as the analog to understand shamanism. And we'll see that that there are a number of religions that have a great deal of ritual, and that would be, let's say, Catholic Christianity and Orthodox Christianity and Vaishnava Hinduism and other Hindu sects. And we could also look at Pure Land and Tibetan Buddhism as being the religions that have a great deal of ritual associated with them, and they have a reputation of producing mystics and or shaman. Now the question here is we've been arguing that most of the people who have a reputation of being mystics and shaman are probably not the real deal. And we're looking for the real deal, or the people who have some depth to their shamanic expression. So, and what we find, in fact, when we investigate the lives of the mystics, let's say, remember, we're using them as an analog, they are not associated with ritual. Ritual is not a key component to how they express themselves. For instance, Teresa of Avila and John of the Cross, you know, they were, Teresa of Avila was a nun in the Catholic Church, and John of the Cross was a monk, or a priest actually, in the Catholic Church. And the Catholic Church, of course, especially at that time 5 centuries ago, was certainly known for its ritual behavior, although Teresa of Avila and John of the Cross don't feature in a significant way in the ritual behavior of the Catholic Church. And we could also point to, let's say, St. Francis of Assisi and several other of the small community of genuine mystics that the Catholic Church produced. And we could also look at Orthodox Christianity in the same way. Most of the mystics of these two traditions were known for living in remote regions, oftentimes in a cave by themselves, meditating, and really not associated with a lot of ritual behavior. And we could say the same thing about Hinduism. For instance, Shiva is one of those iconic figures in Hindu literature for being a mystic or a yogi, would be the term they use. And Shiva is really known for living in the wilderness, in animal skins, in a cave, and not associating with people, and not known for his ritual practices. And we can also look at Siddhartha Gautama in the same way. He's not really known for ritual behavior. He's more known for wandering barefoot in the wilderness and coming into town to beg for his food and then head back out. Okay, so and let's look at actually a Native American example of shamanism, and that would be the Tohono O'odham have a oral tradition of a mystic in their tradition known as the Iitoi. And he is known to have lived in a cave by himself in the Babakivri Mountains, and still a pilgrimage site today. And there's no evidence on the surface that there was a village nearby, other than I believe there was a probably temporary village lower down the mountain where pilgrims camp today, and probably have camped for hundreds or thousands of years since Iitoi passed. So we look at Iitoi in the Tohono O'odham Native American community as an example of very probably a genuine mystic, and therefore an example of a mystic as a shaman, because primarily he's living by himself in the wilderness. And that would be, let's say, a key component to a genuine mystic, is living by themselves in the wilderness, engaging in a contemplative life, and by so doing cultivating religious or spiritual experiences, and they are not as generally associated with ritual behavior. So we can reject ritual behavior as an example of mature shamanism and mature mysticism, but it would be a characteristic of immature or naive shamanism and mysticism when we see a lot of ritual behavior. So I'm going to propose another hypothesis for my viewing public to consider, and that would be that ritual behavior is probably inversely proportional to the depth of mysticism of a particular individual. And what that means is that the more ritual behavior we see, the less likely we're going to be observing the life of a genuine mystic or shaman. Okay, friends, so thank you for listening in on this week's ecstatic, mystical, and shamanic lecture. And have a great week. Hopefully you are all meditating rigorously and cultivating those really wonderful spiritual experiences. Thank you.